Hey, welcome back to Lupo Outdoors. Today we're over here at Decision Tactical. Now, my roommate and I went over to a gun show about a year ago, and these guys were giving some discounts on some of their packages here. This is one of the coolest things I think we're going to see in quite a while. Now, this is located in Sanford, which is just north of Orlando, Florida. So today happens to be their 1-year anniversary. We're gonna go in there, check it out, we're gonna do some interviews and show you just how cool this actually is. All right, we're getting prepped to go inside and check this place out.
You're going to go on your left-hand side, your mag's going to your right. Y'all right-handed or left-handed today?
Right-handed.
Alrighty. So you can grab one of these holsters and mags right here. Holster's going to go on the right-hand side, mag's going to go on the left. As for me, I just keep them on both sides because I got my radio and stuff over on here.
Gotcha.
So here, today we're going to be going through the range intro, the house, and then the competition course. So the first thing we're going to do is that range intro, and with that, we're going to go at different types of gun safety, different types of drills, things like that. Then our house is going to be a law enforcement officer house. We're going in for a domestic disturbance call. In a house, we're going to have to go through, de-escalate when necessary, and shoot when necessary. And with all of our scenarios, they are fully interactive. So what you do, what you say, how you say it, all that will change how each of the scenarios will play. And then our competition course is going to be an obstacle course where you're going to go through, you're going to get scored based on speed and accuracy. And around that, stick like less than 2 minutes, but you're going to get scored.
That's awesome.
All right. All right, we're all right-handed, correct?
Yep.
All righty. Right-handed. Short gun. Short gun. There you go. And thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our mags. It's going to be the high side pointing. High side pointed forward. Insert that and rack it back. What we're going to do next is wake up that tablet, enter our QR code, dog tag QR code set up, and fire the range 4 shots. All y'all.
So take this.
Insert your dog tag QR code side up.
Then
Fire 3 shots.
Awesome.
So this will be our house scenario. So in this scenario, you guys are going to be law enforcement officers going in for a domestic disturbance call in a suburban house. It's going to be a poker game gone wrong. So there's going to be many different people in there. What you're going to do is you have to talk to all those people because all these scenarios are fully interactive. So what you do, what you say, how you say it, all that will change how the scenario will play out.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, dog tag with the thing up.
Side up. All right. Look for your breech door strength. One high, low, or standard?
Standard.
All right. Confirm. Is your dog?
To a domestic violence call at a small suburban home. The experiences within are based on real-life events and interactions, followed by protocols, de-escalating where possible, by talking to suspects, and use force when necessary. Remember, every choice you make matters and can be the difference between life and death for you and others. What you're about to hear is a part.
Victim assailants are unknown at this time. Caller indicated the party was being held, so a large number of participants may be present. The advice that is on the way.
The scenario will begin in 5, 4, 3.
Jehovah's Witnesses.
What did you tell them? They got
Back up. Show us your hands.
The mere fact that you're not talking to me.
Show us your hands. Show us your hands.
Look,
Freeze.
stay with him. Start EMS, and I'll give the trauma.
Show us your hands.
Okay. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot.
Come out from around the boxes. Closet? Yeah, good question.
The amount of
I clear that closet?
You open it.
Absolutely.
Clear.
You also finished the
Fried
dog.
chicken.
Diesel is alive and well.
Yep. I'm not gonna shoot a doggy.
I mean, he's behind a cage.
So one thing about this area, you do not want to be anywhere right here because since that guy did have a knife, he could have reached that distance in less than 10 seconds.
Easily, yeah.
So yeah, the ideal place you want to be right behind this table or even right behind that wall because you are fully covered. Alright, so in this, it's not exactly a scenario, it's more like a little obstacle course, shoot house type kind of thing. So you guys are going to be shooting 2 shots per target, going through, and just shooting out all the things. There's going to be a little whack-a-mole wall, we're going to have to shoot through that green. Some through in here, there'll be some parts of it in there they actually can see. And so you're just going through, shooting, having fun. Alright. There you go.
All right.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Put your hand on that handle. 3, 2, 1. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole. To the green, to the green. 2 shots, go, go, go. 4.
I'm jammed.
Here. Alright, see how you did. 45 hits in the white, 14 hits in like the black or like the arms, the neck, things like that. 30 misses, and a run time of 2 minutes 39 seconds. Hit factor of 1.113. Alright, go, go, go. Right, right. Up 4, up 4. Up left. Go through, go through. Breach, breach, breach.
Reach where? Oh.
Up. Up.
Up.
Gonna come back. There he is. Up again.
Behind you.
Hi, my name is Derek. I work here on the Armory side at Decision Tactical.
Perfect. So, Derek, tell me a little bit about Decision Tactical. What is this all about?
So what this is all about is doing the bridge divides, and what they mean by that is giving people a glimpse of what it's like to be a police officer and providing a facility also to where police officers can train. So what we want to do here is we want to warm people up on the simulated range, because everything we have here is simulated, get people used to shooting, communicating, manipulating our Glock 17, then take you onto a scenario. The scenario is going to be from a police officer's point of view. That way you can go in and see what it's like for a police officer.
Gotcha. When did this place open up?
It opened up last year in February.
In February.
Yeah.
And today is your 1-year anniversary.
A little slow on the anniversary, yeah. From February to March, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's wonderful. My roommate and I found you guys at a gun show, and you had discount on coming out and trying this out. That was about, May or June of last year, and we put the information right in our wallets, and then recently went, oh yeah, these guys. So we decided to come down here and check it out and film it. So Jared and I just went through the scenario. So we ended up at the poker game that went wrong, and so we went into the house scenario. And we went into the firing range, so that was going through and getting used to the guns. We did that prior to going to the house, and then we did the competition. Now, the competition, the problem we had with that is by then the guns were jamming and failing because we had been using them. Yeah. So yeah, that was the only issue we had. But aside from that, this was an incredible experience. The house was interesting from my point of view. Jared and I went together, and I'm the only one actually fired my guns because I was barking all the commands and he was just like sitting there, covering me. But you can feel the anxiety, when you see somebody with a knife and you tell them to put it down, and then they all of a sudden make a movement to like stab somebody, or somebody pulls, like, and then one of the scenarios, there was a guy who made a jab at a fellow police officer, and I dropped him. But it's interesting because there's one segment where we forgot to check a door, because you get tunnel vision.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Is a lot of people think they're going to come in here, sit down, go through a class, or do something like that. No, absolutely not. They even think they're going to be sitting there staring at one screen and looking at it and be like, oh, I'm shooting on the same screen like VR. No, it's meant to fully immerse you. Everything in there is meant to make you feel like you are actually in a house, to make you feel like those people that you're dealing with are actually real. And that way you get the full bang of like, oh man, this is happening. What am I doing? And what is my partner gonna do to help me? Because a lot of people they get locked up, they can't say anything, it hits them all way too fast.
Well, and you can't wait for them to act.
Nope.
That's the key. It's like, like there was a dog, and I didn't bother with the dog. I didn't want to focus on the dog because the dog wasn't giving me sounds of like he was going to attack. But what I saw was an active situation. So when I was asking for hands, I started with my hand near my gun, like on my hip. And as soon as I saw a weapon, my gun was out. And at that point, it is so fast. You don't have a whole lot of time to react, and I even asked, my partner, I said, did you fire a gun at all? He goes, no, you took complete control of everything. And I was like, it doesn't mean the moment you saw him bringing his knife up, to stab somebody that you couldn't fire, I mean, you have to take the responsibility on yourself. But after we went through the process, he goes, what's in that door? And we're all like, oh, I don't know. I didn't even see the door. Didn't even pay attention to the door. Other things were happening, and it's crazy.
It's wild. Yeah, that's where the bridge divides. A part of the portion of like our motto is to show people what it's like to be a police officer, what it's like to have those split-second decisions, what mistakes you can make, what mistakes are going to happen, what are you doing, how are you checking it, what are you doing wrong, and in that way you get that good fundamentals, also get to learn and get that just little key insight of what it would be like to be a police officer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So how often do you actually have police officers training in here?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, even if we don't have a department coming through for our scheduled Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5 p.m., so 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., we have off-duty police officers are active, or they're on duty as well too. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they come up here, want to purchase stuff and get part of this. The off-duty ones will come up here and use their spare time to train, because they know this is probably the best training facility that they can get part of.
As close as you can get without actually being hit, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the different things that you have in there and what they're there for? So, like, we first started off in the range. Mm-hmm. So tell us about some of the drills and exercises in the range.
So the whole purpose of range intro is to break your mind on the fundamentals of what it's like to be in a simulated range compared to being in a real range. Because a lot of people, they come in, they want to treat this as a real range. This is the only range in the world you could have a beer in one hand and a gun in the other hand, because it's simulated, right?
Yeah.
It's also meant to be fun. And the drills in there are meant to help you understand that you're not going to be shooting stagnant. And by shooting stagnant means taking out your gun, always pointing it down range, shooting a still target, because that's what most people practice on. But we want to prepare you as best as possible. When you get into those scenarios, already be thinking, oh man, I can move and shoot. I have to practice my reloads. I have to do my tap and rack. What happens if my weapon jams? What can I do? What type of training I can get here I can't get anywhere else in the world? Or for my own amusement, what's some things that I could learn today? Or just having fun. And then that way it's all completely safe, and that way you get fully immersed from there to start breaking those barriers of a real range and a simulated range.
In a real range, always have the weapon pointed down range. There's a lot of things you can't do. Where here it was like cross drawing and putting the gun between your knees and grabbing it with the offhand and spinning around and shooting at the target. And at the real range, you can't do that. It's not safe. But here, like if for some reason you had no access to your primary arm, how are you going to draw and fire that weapon to protect yourself, right? So, I thought some of the drills were really, really interesting, and I found, can you describe the firearm to everybody, what it is? And
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the Glock 17 simulated. That's what everything we base it off of, because that's what most police departments runs. That's just the prime member model for it. Okay, it's a simulated Glock. We have our magazines that have the air compressor CO2 in there to make the slide action move. Our laser-based system, all homegrown technology, registers on the screen. It's all IR, so you can't even see it.
Right, it's an infrared laser coming out. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I thought was interesting is when you fire these simulated Glocks, they actually, act like a real firearm. The slide comes back, to simulate chambering another round, and then we actually got concussion down in our feet. So you got that boom that came up, which I thought was really, really cool.
That's part of the full immersion. It's the recoil coming from the CO2, making it feel like the gun is recoiling, like something projectile is getting shot. The vibration at your feet is to symbolize that, like, a vibration of like gunpowder, and how just much explosion does come from firing a real firearm.
Exactly.
And then the sound comes from right above to fully immerse you, and that's the whole point. It's to fully immerse you, to make it feel as real as possible, to almost get you all the way to that point.
Just to the edge.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other things that you have here. So the simulation we did was the house.
Yep.
Right. What other ones can people do right now?
We have the street and diner, and that'll be from the police officer's point of view, responding to where they're on a food break, something happens, how do you respond to it? And then we have our mall scenario, which is a police officer responding to an active shooter. And so those are the ones that we got in there too. And then the comp course one, which everybody loves, that you also did, and that's just a run and gun, having fun, trying to set the high score so you could talk a little smack to your buddies.
The comp course, there's like one area where you have windows, and then the windows light up green, and you got to run over there and shoot the target, and you have to shoot each target twice in the competition course. That was a blast. Now, what do you have that's coming up?
We have the underground coming up, and that'll be 3 different types of competition courses, but there'll be plexiglass on all the sides, so you can actually see your buddy run through and make fun of him while you're eating your food and drinking your drink.
Oh, I love that.
They can even be set up for like a private party if you wanted to rent it out for only just your family or company, whoever it may be. Or if we're slow, we'd have the public run through it as well too. We also have the mall turning into a competition shoot as well too, because people like to compete. People are competitive. Yep. We have Benghazi coming, and that'll be based off of 13 hours where you're going to be defending your position.
Oh my goodness.
That's where we're talking about M4s, possibly 240 Bravos.
So is that going to be still using Glocks, or are you going to go into more rifle simulations in that too?
That'll be more towards the 240 Bravo or the M4s.
Really?
But we're going to talk that future date. That's what we're going to talk about 6 months, maybe 8 months to a year out.
So when's that supposed to be out, or approximately?
I would say was put it at a year out to be safe.
All right, so about a year from now.
Yeah.
We will absolutely come back and tackle that and take a look at that when that comes out. Any other ones coming?
Yeah, we have the church scenario coming, but we are probably going to limit that to only law enforcement and church security to get them additional training on how to protect churches.
Oh,
and
good.
The lockers that you probably notice in the hallways, the whole place is going to be set up as a school shooter. That way, the police can get additional training as well too, and that will only be for police officers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool. So, now, how many locations do you guys have, or is this it? This is the only place in the whole country.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, is there a plan for expansion, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Once this place is like, oh, it's it. This is a final product of everything is just to perfection, to the T. They're expanding to Orlando, to Tampa, stuff like that.
That's
and then
awesome.
hopefully across the entire United States, you'll be seeing a Decision Tactical everywhere.
So, I have never experienced anything like this. I shoot almost every weekend. I've done competition shotgun shooting for 25 years, so I traveled all over the country shooting. We got recently into really long range shooting. So this year, as many of you know out there, that we are doing our quest for a mile shot this year. So it's a beginner's guide to a mile. So I'm going through every aspect of choosing your caliber, how to train, how to read wind and everything to do a mile shot, hopefully by the end of this year. But this was amazing. This was unlike anything that I've ever done in the past, and it's about as real as you can get without actually using ammo.
Yep.
I have an airsoft trainer at the house where you have targets that appear on the screen and you fire your airsoft BBs literally at the screen and it registers the hits. That's really cool, but it's nothing like this. You're humping through the rooms, man. You got to keep your eyes open. What I thought was interesting is that I could bark commands and they reacted to my commands.
Yep.
That was incredible. Yeah. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, and the whole purpose of that is to also show not police officers, but to show people what police officers have to do with the de-escalation, escalation of force. That way it's tailored to every individual to get a different experience. Because how you ran through, the next 10, 20 people that run through are going to run it completely different. Yep. So they'll have a different outcome than the one you did. And then that way, every time you run it, it will slightly change based on what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it. And those are the big reasons to think about. And you only have split-second decisions to make those little quick, did I shoot that guy? Do I put your gun down, or what am I going to do type situation?
Yeah, that was the clincher for me, the interaction. So you're looking at videos, but you're barking commands and they're reacting appropriately to the commands that you're doing, and it's like instantaneously. There's not like a video pause and then, no, it's like, that was incredible. So can you tell us about the cost? Was the cost for here, and you have memberships, right?
Yes, we have monthly memberships. We're currently working on a new monthly membership, but the ones that we still have in existence are the $50 for the sergeant package. Then we have the captain's package for $100, and then we have the major's package for $200, and that's giving you a credit amount. But we're slowly moving away from credits, so we're gonna have to change those. But right now we have our introduction, which is we're leading you through the experience like you did to fully get you to where you're guided. That way hey, I started at the range to get that mindset in there too. Then I go to my scenario to be like, oh man, wow. And then you end on the comp course, and that was $75. Then we have our all-inclusive one, which is $125. You start on the range, go to the house, go to the comp course, and then make your way to the street, and then make your way to the mall. We also give you a free t-shirt or a food item as well too.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was incredible. That was absolutely incredible. This is about almost an hour exactly from my house. And it is worth the drive. If you're in the Orlando area, you're coming out here to visit, down below, I'll put the address and the contact information for this place. And I highly recommend this. In our group, there was a kid with his parents, and that kid was running all the scenarios that we did. So what are your age groups here, or limits?
So as long as we have the guardian with the child at all times, it's perfectly fine with us.
No age limit?
No age. Well, we're going to say 7 years old because there is some things they
7
have to
and
do.
up, yeah.
Yeah, but as long as the parent is with the child, we're comfortable with that. That way the child can also get the experience, or the parent can see how the child can react, because sometimes some of these situations in real life, as we've seen, you have your child with you. How are you practicing with your child with you? All that stuff to help the parent out, because it does come to a lot of that. If you are a parent, you have kids with you, what happens when something pops up? How are you gonna react? How are you going to train with your child? How is your child going to react to the situation? So you get to see all that as well too. To come in here solo by yourself, 18, and then that's that way. Yeah.
That was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then you're open 7 days a week, right?
Yeah, we're open up every day, Monday through Thursday. Our times from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 p.m. That's when law enforcement come in and train, their departments and stuff like that. Then we're open from 5 to 10, Monday through Thursday. And then Friday, we're open up at 11 all the way till 12. Same thing with Saturday. And then Sunday, it's 11 o'clock all the way till 10 o'clock at night.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Look in the description down below. You'll find their the website and address and more information down there for you.
Welcome to Decision Tactical. This is the street terrorist scenario, law enforcement version. For this scenario, you will be an on-duty police officer taking a food break late at night in a local cafe. Even in times of rest, you must be ever vigilant of threats to yourself and public safety, and use information around you to quickly assess situations in dire circumstances. Following your local protocols, ensure that swift actions are taken to preserve the lives of the innocent. Identify the most important threats.
Here?
Hey, have a seat right here and I'll be right with you.
Streets of our local area. Several sources are indicating this person is intentionally trying to injure individuals on the streets. Solved. We will continue to post updates on this developing story. Please stay safe out there.
Away from this. You're gonna pay for this.
Hey.
How many people did you
Back off!
send people over? She needs to be caught up.
Move!
Sir, you have to understand, I didn't do anything.
Calm down.
Whatever. Do your thing, I guess. Fucking useless.
Thank you. I didn't do anything. I wasn't driving. Okay, don't.
On the ground. On the ground.
Go check out this guy in the alleyway. Something's over here.
Where? Hey! Get on the ground!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Drop it!
Go check on the officer in the parking garage. Started off in the diner. You did real good. You're real reactive to the scenario as it was playing out. So in the scenario, you notice how on the news it was in the air.
Hold that.
Got you. So you notice how in the scenario on the news. Actually, we'll go in so I can show you. The video started playing about the news. The diner lady noticed it, so you had to start paying attention. Should go in. So we were just sitting at the. It's not gonna play now, but we were just sitting at the diner. The lady behind the desk, she was like, "Hey, what's going on in the news?" So we had to pay attention. it was in our area, right? So do you remember when we came in here, we were off-duty officer, all right? You're just on your lunch break. Now you're gonna come in and out of nowhere it's gonna flip, and then you gotta take care of the situation, right? You did a great job. You reacted real good to when the car crashed into the building, took care of the terrorists as they were popping out. And you even noticed that the lady hopping out was the same lady that we're about to go talk about. When you were taking care of the guy behind the first floor,
Yeah.
yes, you were able to take care of him, which was great, but it was a little dangerous because you weren't behind any cover, right? You always want to protect yourself to your best ability, right? So taking cover behind anything will benefit you. Did you notice the lady that was right here on the floor?
Yeah.
Actually, she was interactable, so you are able to tell her, hey, get out of here, and then you could have saved her life.
Oh, okay.
Just a little things. Back over here, when it came to the lady and the guy arguing, you were perfect with the de-escalation. Other than that, you did really good during this scenario. There's, of course, a couple things I can pick out here and there, but not everyone's going to know how officers going to do it their first time through. But I must say that was pretty good.
Thank you. Appreciate it. That was a lot of fun.
Of course.
Cool. I'm absolutely loving this. So we just did the diner, and the diner was cool. So we did the law enforcement version of the diner. And so we have like a car that crashes in, and there's a terrorist, and you have to leave the diner, and that was a blast. I really enjoyed that one. Right now, I think the house is still my favorite of them, because you really have to take control in the house.
You're about to enter the model terrorist scenario, law enforcement version. In this scenario, you are a local police officer that has received reports of multiple active shooters in the nearby mall shopping center. You are the first law enforcement to arrive at the active scene. The situation is considered extremely dangerous, and you will be faced with multiple split-second decisions. Every correct decision will save lives. Every mistake will not only endanger your life, but the lives of those you are to serve and protect.
Get out of here! Drop it! Drop it! God damn it.
We're gonna go do the debrief now for the mall scenario. All right, if you wanna go right through that door. All right, so kinda like the Stray and Diner scenario, it's very hectic when you walk into it, right? A lot going on, you got people all around you. Remember, it's a mall, so it's very big, it's very spacious, everything can be happening at once. But my first question for you, sir, is do you know the difference between cover and concealment?
Concealment would hide me but doesn't protect me.
Perfect, just like that, right? So you took good concealment as you walked around, right? So you can use the gumball machine as concealment. You can use my cart in the middle over there as concealment, but it wasn't good cover, right? You want to keep covered and cover yourself as best as your ability. Guy right here on the ground, I noticed that you were staring at him for a little bit. What was going through your head?
I was trying to identify whether he was a threat or not.
Right. You did do the right option. So he was protecting himself from one of the terrorists. That's why he did have the weapon in his hand. That's why you were able to say, "Hey, put the gun down." He's like, "Don't hurt me. I was just protecting myself."
Yeah.
So that was perfect. We're gonna go back over here. So is that you always want to check. You always want to check where you're going into, right? So if you want to just stand right there real quick, right? You always want to check, your corners and everything. So if I were to go all the way into this corner, can you see me?
Nope.
Right. So you want to check your corners, right? So you want to sweep.
Yeah,
you want to sweep in,
like this.
right? Yeah, and then you can kind of see me as I'm.
Yeah.
If I was a threat. Same thing over here. You want to check your left and your right. You never know what's behind the corner. Again, it's just for your safety.